What's up, everyone? Nathan coming back at you with their Pokemon Showdown lives. More black and white today, my favorite metagame as ever. But before we get into things, and speaking about it being my favorite metagame, I do kind of want to address what I would consider right now to be my biggest pet peeve with black and white, or at least the black and white community, since I've been more active in it the last week. I think there's this huge problem in the Pokemon community. It's especially bad in older, more established, more solved metagames where people are really dismissive over not using perfectly optimized teams. This is something that I see all the time in Gen 8 OU, which is ridiculous because you can still see people like, Joey and Blunder tearing it up, or Joey and Envy tearing it up in the ladder with like Machamp and stuff like that. So it's already ridiculous, but it's especially prevalent, of course, when we're talking about a metagame that's very old and very established, like black and white overused. And this is, I think, a symptom of something when we see the effect of BKC, right? Because BKC has made some amazing content in black and white. I don't want this to be taken as remotely any shade against him. One of my favorite content creators on the site for sure. But a downside of that is he puts out these videos where he says, this is, optimal sand, or, this is optimal rain, or this is Dragmag. You see this Dragmag team all over the ladder, especially since he put out this video. Here's optimal Dragmag. Here's what it looks like. And that's fantastic. But the problem is that everybody runs these teams. And well, also there's a whole other ball of wax to get into where people who are like not that good players watch these videos and they're doing this. So it's kind of like, somebody able to do like, crazy dribbling on the basketball court, but when it's time to actually hit a layup, they miss. Like, it's one of those things where like new players are using this like perfectly optimal teams, which is kind of funny. But the point I'm driving across here is that it creates this feeling that there's only room for perfectly optimal stuff in black and white, which I can say that even when the metagame was, again, quote unquote solved, which is not true because the metagame does develop and progress somewhat rapidly. It depends on the frequency of big tournaments. It's slower than like OU, Gen 8 OU, for example, but does develop. But even back in like 2017, 2018, when I was playing and it was solved, it was certainly less condensed than it is nowadays. I do think some of this effect is BKC, and a lot of people being able to look for common metagame teams, they go to BKC and they go, great, this is what's good and what's meta, where I'm good. Whereas, back then you'd see a lot more crazy stuff. You'd see a lot more weird teams, especially if you just go through my early team builder. I was not out there for doing stuff like, I don't know. Actually, these are all pretty meta now that I look at them. But this is a Blunder team with Cofagrugus, can't pronounce that name ever. Or, you have things like Mind Shao. Blunder brought this to a tournament again. These are actually a couple of Blunder teams in a row here. You have Zero-Arc. You got Heracross with Choice Scarf. You got things like, it's not that offsides. I always talk about, or, yesterday's Umbreon video. I always talk about how in black and white, I think oftentimes you do kind of need a supporting cast. You do need a bit of a supporting shell to make things work. But then if you go out and you do a kind of offsides combination, like a Mind Shao and a Heracross, or an Umbreon and a Conkeldurr, things like that, I do think there's actually room for that. And for context, this is all stemming from, I've seen a couple of videos on my Discord and my YouTube comments where someone goes, hey, can I use, Gengar? Can I use Infernape and make it work in black and white? And they're just instantly shut down. They're smited for saying that. And they're like, no, that is not viable, blah, blah, blah. That is not going to work. And I think there's a difference between, if we're talking about a top level tournament game, like, yeah, if I'm entering like a big tournament series, I'm up against like a super amazing player like Dr. Caetano or Finchinator or whatever. Yeah, you know what? If I'm bringing a freaking Porygon Specs team, I'm probably gonna get clapped. I get it. But if we're just messing around on the ladder, and for the record, most of the players that are playing on the ladder aren't even like 1400 elo, where things get super optimized and you do start to play against really good players. Like, it strikes me as a little bit odd. If we go through the replay section, I just was perusing this earlier in preparation for this video. I haven't really written anything down for this video like I would normally try to, but this is just kind of a rant from my heart. But anyways, if I look at like the replays, these are all pretty recent, the most top ranked ladder games you can find on the ladder nowadays. And let's see if we can find anything that is not perfectly optimal. I mean, here's Stall right off the bat. So this is the second biggest higher ladder game played ever, and it's Stall, which is generally considered not viable in an offensive tier like black and white. We see some Dragmag, we see some some sand, some rain there. All pretty standard. You would think, okay, yeah, this is just justifying my point. You can only use perfectly optimal things like the sand team here. No, here's actually a hail team with also a Ninetales. And spoiler, the hail and Ninetale team is going to win because, again, if you're kind of matchup fishing when you're doing this, and you're kind of looking for good matchups and stuff like that, it's not perfect. The comparison I always draw is if I am going to be entering the Super Smash Bros. Community, and I go, okay, I'm a huge Dr. Mario fan. I got to make it work. I enter like a Discord or a forum or whatever, and I say, what can I do to take my Dr. Mario to the next level? People aren't immediately going to go, Dr. Mario, that will never work. Give it up. Like, that's never going to happen. What is going to happen is people go, okay, you know what? Dr. Mario's a bit of a mid-low tier. You might have a bit of trouble with that. But here, do this, this, and this. Here's some guys to help you out. And here's this. You know, here's Shroom, who's a top 10 player for a little while. Here's blah, blah, blah. You know, in Melee particularly, we have a Yoshi who is considered a top 10 player pretty frequently. Samuses are normally in that conversation. People are like, Dr. Mario's considered a genuinely unsolved or like room to expand character. So if we're gonna say that, why can't, you know, if I'm just messing around the ladder, why can't we make Abominous Snow work? And, you know, let's go for some more. Here's a Sun team. I'll spoil the ending. The Sun team wins in this one. We're gonna keep going, looking for just off meta stuff. Nothing so far. Here's a Sun defensive team. Yeah, but the Cresselia, you could say that for sure. I don't remember who wins that one. We're just kind of perusing briefly. Again, a lot of obvious, you know, a lot of drag bag, a lot of sand, a good amount of rain too. But then even still, you get like little pieces of heat like this. You get a bit of a Gengar, you get a bit of a rain dance. Kingdra, very cool. Seemed like some cool end game win conditions there. There's some more Sun. And these are all like pretty recent games. Before you accuse me of that, this is a year old. You know, maybe in Gen 8 OU, it's a completely different meta game, but in OU, it's not like there's been any bans since then besides Spore and stuff. That's a good Slowking team. I know that one. Here's a Weavile, Raikou team. I'm not going to watch this replay with you guys in full, but the Weavile kind of pops off. Lots and lots of stuff here. You know, Toxicroak, I don't think anyone would argue it's unviable, but it's certainly lesser seen. Where's one? Nidoking puts in some decent work in this game. You know, there's lots of stuff. If you're starting to see a trend on the ladder, like you're seeing a certain, you know, Volcarona set that is popping off a lot, maybe you find a specific counter that Volcarona set. Maybe you go something like, I don't know, if you look at the ladder, you do like a specific Zapdos set that is built to beat this Volcarona, like a Spadef Zapdos, which wouldn't be terribly common. I think it's doable. So all this is a long-winded introduction to say that we're gonna be playing some Hail on the ladder today with a I think a 9-year-old, maybe 8-year-old Hail team here from Stunt off the forum. It's a famous post on the forum, and it's really kind of janky and weird, and you know, I don't think it's perfectly optimal even when it came out back in 2013, but nowadays it's fun. I remember playing this team a lot. Some Monograss, speaking of which. I remember playing when I was first getting started, I tried so hard. I was trying to get every type of weather into the top 500, like with a different account. This one took me a while. I'm not gonna like, you know, blow sunshine up your skirt and pretend that it's amazing, but I just think that, you know, it shouldn't disincentivize you. Again, you know me. My thing is always focusing on getting beginners going into the tier, and I hate seeing a beginner like come in and like be like, can I make Aerodactyl work? And somebody goes, no, Aerodactyl's outclassed by Zapdos. You can't. Like, it gets super on my nerves. Just kick them out the door. Why don't you? Just don't let them play. Like, just there's no better way to scare someone off. Anyways, I gotta stop. I'm sounding like salty when it's meant to be a positive note about how Pokemon is a little bit more freeing than you think, unless you're a perfectly optimal, you know, top 10 player like Dr. Caetano in tournament. I just think it, you know, don't sweat it so much is my point. Anyways, here we are against Monograss here. Scizor, Chandelure, and Abomasnow all look fantastic here. They've got their own Abomasnow though. In terms of lead matchups that I would not want to see with my Chandelure, there's really not a lot. I do worry about that Ludicolo as a lead. That could give us some trouble. Oh, and I got Mamoswine too. Oh, we are set. We are positioned. I might actually lead with this Mamoswine. Let's go for it. We see the Rotom-Mow. Okay, probably outspeeding us. Oh, and this Mamoswine does not actually have Icicle Crash. Interesting. I want to go for a Stealth Rock here. They're going to miss that. Love that. Maybe now we can get a 2-hit KO with Ice Shard here, assuming they don't Rage Quit instantly. Oh. Down bad. My guy is down bad. All right, let's get another Ice Shard going here. Drop a quick sorry. Some people are a bit on the fence about whether you should apologize for luck and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's never a bad gesture. Go for an EQ here. They might exchange some hazards. Mamoswine, it's got 400 attack. This might be a 2-hit KO. Nope, this looks like it's full defense. I'm going to double switch to Chandelure if that's the case. Maybe get up a substitute for Lucky. Get it in before a Stealth Rocks are dropped at least. Yeah, sure enough, there it is. I'll substitute here. Yeah, that's going to work out pretty nicely for us. Get some leftovers back. That's going to be just fine by me. This substitute is so good in general because Chandelure, famously, in any generation you care to look at it, even, you know, current, you know, RU or UU, wherever it's at. I'm not sure where it's at in Sword and Shield. Famously, just gets a lot of switches, right? You know, you get a matchup like this, or if you were up against a, I don't know, a Breloom in a more standardized team from my opponent. And I'll flamethrower here, no question. Oh, greedy rain dance, I'm afraid. I'm going to just sweep this person 6-0 with Chandelure. But anyway, Chandelure forces a lot of switches. That's no secret. And, okay, never mind. That was genius because it weakened the power of flamethrower. I should have gone for a Shadow Ball. Massive choke from me. Unbelievable. Pokemon YouTuber exposed. Like this video to watch so-and-so get exposed. All right, we still got a Obama though. Here we're fine. We got 4 Ice Shard users. I think I've lost my train of thought 3 different times here, but Chandelure forces switches. It's good. You substitute on the T-Tar switch is what I'm struggling to get across here. Because T-Tar comes in, you have that hidden power fighting, which they might know about, they might not. So you either get a kill or you force another swap, which is great for Chandelure. All this time you're accruing leftovers damage. It's really great. It also gets a lot of decent switch-ins with Flash Fire, which, for example, if you have like a Shed Shell Pokemon and you're let's say your Shed Shell Skarmory, not Skarmory, it'd have to be like a Ferrothorn, is trapped by a Magnezone, you go straight up to your Chandelure, soak up that Flash Fire, you get an easy substitute. They go into T-Tar, they get hidden power fighting. Anything else takes a huge hit from Flamethrower. It's pretty awesome. But let's finish things up here with a sweep from Scizor. I think I'll go to young Mamoswine here for now. Things look pretty comfortably in our favor here. People get a couple games with this Hail team. I love it, honestly. I think so highly of it. It's super old, but I still think it's got some stuff to hang. I was prepared for this matchup. We are 6 speed stats higher. We've got thick fat too, so we're not even that worried about like an Ice Shard. Great, and that's going to be Breloom with the Mach Punch, I got to imagine. But we'll drop an Ice Shard of our own first, and we might be outsped too. So let's get a second game going. Ladder's not that quick where I can afford to wait around for my opponent here. Takes a ton from that Ice Shard as they Seed Bomb there. I'm going to drop a quick Bullet Punch and a GG to my opponent. Mono Grass. I don't see mono teams as much as I used to. I feel like that was a huge challenge thing, is bringing mono-type teams to the ladder and stuff, but honestly, I should do that myself. If anyone should do that, it should be me playing like mono flying or birding up on the OU ladder. That'd be a good video right there. Here's a much more meta looking sand team from our opponent. Oh my god, if I had a Breloom, so help me God. Speaking of Breloom, woo! I mean, I got Abomasnow. Abomasnow's looking pretty fantastic here, actually, all in all. You know, Woodhammer. Don't love this matchup as much, but don't love that one either. But Woodhammer, Ice Shard if you've already lost your Focus Sash. Not bad. In terms of these matchups, another problem with this team, actually, if I'm going to give a big problem, is that Scizor is like your only defensive steel type at all. So it pulls a lot of duty in terms of like being a rock type switch in terms of being like a psychic or dragon type swap in, and it's not really got much defensive investment at all. So normally I think if this team's going to fall apart, it's that this Scizor has to swap into one too many attacks as a defensive steel type and can't really get enough going. But in terms of it right now, I kind of like it. We get a big U-turn on you and you. We don't wall you per se, but we don't take too much damage as we go for superpower. Same goes for you. Big U-turn on you and you. Let's do it. Let's run it. We do see a Powdown. Probably the worst matchup for us to get off the rip here, but we're still going to get off a U-turn and probably free swap into... Oh, boy, am I wrong. So let's get 70%. Banded Scizor, what is up? I'm tempted to go to Chandelure and Shadow Ball. Genuinely rather tempted. I could also go for a Earthquake here. Ice Shard might even kill with Abomasnow if it's that strong. I can steal the weather back, go for a Woodhammer. I don't love that it lets Latios in for free. We just said that Latios is a bit of a problem for us. Also, Excadrill wouldn't hate coming in that situation. And if it's Mold Breaker, it might be Sand Force. If it's Mold Breaker, then it destroys our team too. So Abomasnow I think is a correct answer, but I might just go for like a quick cheeky Shadow Ball with Chandelure here. Why not, you know? Why not? And you could also make an argument right now that substituting is the optimal play to prevent some sort of swap in. I'm guessing this is a Max Bizdef Hippowdon, Max Bidef Gastrodon. They've got a bit of a balance there. Might not necessarily work so well in practice. But anyways, yeah, you could have made an argument that it could have substituted there on an obvious switch, but it's low ladder. I wasn't sure my opponent was going to switch, and if they had recovered there, that would have been pretty dismal. It's not like they've got Calm Mind and the Chandelure, and they probably got Earthquake and yada yada. That'll be Excadrill in here though. Even Mammoth, so I'm gonna be bad with this thick fat ability. Goes for a big oh. Oh, can you Oko me with a Shadow Ball? Alakazam, you're giving me a tantalizing matchup right now. I gotta check this out for sure. So we got my Chandelure with Substitute versus the average Alakazam. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they're Life Orb. 87% chance to Oko, but if they're Sash, I guarantee I live that then. That is damn tempting. Damn tempting. But I'm not gonna risk it. We do have a full... It's not even a very Spadeft Rotom, is it? Yikes. It's got special attack investment. Yikes. Let's go to Scizor. As they Shadow Ball for nothing. I love that to resist. They could Focus Blast here and yeet me, so maybe I should be Bullet Punching. Let's Bullet Punch. I think they swap, honestly. They've got a whole Hippowdon here. Maybe I should be Pursuing. Oh, that's tough. If they stay in and go for Focus Blast right now, let's at least verify the calcs here. Scizor, Choice Bands. This one's only like 120 HP. -1 Spadef. Focus Blast is doing 77 to 90. So if that's the case, I should absolutely be Bullet Punching. But if they're swapping out Afraid of the Bullet Punch, then I Pursuit and get the kill. Or they're Sash the whole time and it was the greatest bluff of all time versus my Chandelure. 3 awful options, if we're being honest. I think I'm going to Bullet Punch. Maybe Pursuit was more optimal, because that, even if I get to play wrong with Pursuit, there's still a good chance that Focus Blast misses. But alas. Abomasnow is a great swap in here. Part of the reason I love it is that it swaps into ground types so comfortably. In terms of switch-ins, who's my opponent going to go to? They don't really love this. So let's just drop a Wood Hammer. Maybe I should be Hidden Power Firing on X-Drill or something, but I'm down for this. X-Drill also is going to let in... Well, we'll be able to scout the X-Drill at least. So there's the Bomb. There's the Alakazam. Was Life Orb revealed. Glad to know that. Maybe they're expecting a Giga Drain there. Wouldn't blame them. Probably Latios right now. Good question on whether I should go for an Ice Shard in that situation. Sort of take the chip while I can. I'm at least going to protect and scout what it is. If they Calm Mind, I'll cry live on stream. But yeah, they're definitely specs, it looks like. So let's... It's not like I have a good swap in now. Oh, okay, they're that. I'll go to my nothing. Tentacruel, I think might be able to handle it though. Tentacruel, I'm thinking my head calcs are off. Holy Toledo. Is that for real? 224. No, wait. 304 Spadef. No, we've got more Spadef than that. Yeah, that's still way too much for me. Let's Ice Shard, damn it. 2 at KO. Get to oh, Abomasnow. Hello, Abomasnow. Come on. I was wondering if it should HV Fire there, but that's fine by me. Let's go to our Rotom here. Probably drop a Burn afterwards. Latios is in a great range now where it's getting destroyed by any of our priority now. EQ, no thank you. Let's do. I mean, Hydro Pump is great versus everything right now. So is Will-O-Wisp. But they're both inaccurate, which pains me. It pain splits me. They could also go to Latios, in which case Volt Switch is a great play because I can go to Tentacruel at that point, get a Rapid Spin, and then my Mamoswine Chandelure and Abomasnow can put in tons of work. So yeah, I think I Will-O-Wisp or Hydro Pump if they're going to stay in and or go to a ground type, and I Volt Switch if they're going to go to a Latios. Whereas actually if I Will-O-Wisp on the Latios, it's dead in 2 turns, which is pretty great, you know. Between that and Hail, it'll take 16% per turn. Or no, that's not math. 18% per turn. So that's pretty solid. I think I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp. There's no bad situation with Will-O-Wisp here. Yeah, that's fine. And now I can actually go to my Tentacruel, because even if they EQ twice in a row, it's burned. It's not gonna be doing much damage at all. And yeah, once we get that Rapid Spin off, we are cooking with gas. So I'm down for that. Chandelure will look good. All kinds of good matchups. Oh, if they're gonna Toxic, it gets better still. Toxic Spikes would be kind of fun, but it's actually, it would only hit Mamoswine here, so never mind. There's the Excadrill, not Mold Breaker. Looks like it's Sand Force. It would have had a big little thing here on the right that says Mold Breaker. It breaks the mold. So we'll go to our Rotom as a result, completely Wallet. This is actually such a plus matchup for Rotom here. Let's hit a Hydro Pump, please. Let's hit a Hydro Pump, please. I'm begging you. I could also probably 2 at KO it between my 2 Ice Shard users, which is nice. Oh, later Hippowdon. That's going to be a Latios here. We're at 20 minutes. I might end the live there as a result. Good, quick, short one. I got to record 2 in a row, actually. So, hey, you'll be seeing more of me tomorrow. That's fine. But Latios is back. Let's drop Scizor into the mix. Dragon Pulse. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, this is our best Latios answer, and that is not so good there. I'll Bullet Punch here. If they go to Exegol, get on them. I'll probably go to it now, in which case it's still got an 87% health. Rotom Wash there. It's fine by me. And yeah, they're going to forfeit. So GG to our opponent there. Fun games. Hail undefeated on the ladder. You love to see it. You love to see it. Screw the haters. BKC was wrong. No, don't say that, though. No. We love BKC in this channel. Anyways, that's that. Hope you guys don't mind my little bit of a rant there. That's, you know, as I said, it always seemed worked up as the idea of a newcomer coming, going, hey, can I use X Pokemon? And they get immediately shut down. I hope that if you're watching this, you will not be that case. You're allowed to say, to be clear, you're allowed to say, okay, you know what? You know, if you want to use Entei on the top of the black and white ladder, it's got some difficulties. You're absolutely allowed to acknowledge its flaws for sure. But I just don't like this idea of like instantly shitting on people asking for stuff like that. I just think it's such a dogmatic form too. Like there's no way Entei can work. I mean, I don't know. It's like got good stats. It's banded extreme speed and like stuff like that. Like it can do work. I mean, let's not instantly shut it down here. We don't know this for a fact. Anyways, that's me done. Thank you guys for bearing with me in that rant. Let me know what you think, actually. If you agree or you disagree, I'm willing to accept some counter arguments. If you are one of those people that do feel very strongly what can and can't be used, let me know. Maybe you'll change my mind. I'm always open to new information there. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.